Hi there. As we all know, pronunciation is one of the most crucial aspects when learning English. If you want to sound confident when speaking English, you need to have accurate pronunciation. And in today's video, I'll be sharing to you some simple ways we can all practice at home to correct your pronunciation. So let's get started. The first thing I always do every day is by listen and repeat. This technique is similar to shadowing, and this involves carefully listening to a video and you will try to replicate their pronunciation as similar as possible. So when you do this, you will be able to differentiate between similar sounds in English and you will train your ear. So it's kind of like your practice listening and speaking at the same time. And secondly, something I always do is by recording myself when speaking. And this is exactly what I'm doing right now. First of all, when you want to have correct your pronunciation, you have to be confident. And by recording yourself, you can figure out what your mistakes are. Because sometimes when we are recording a video or when we're speaking to someone, it's really difficult for us to realize what we did wrong. When you take a step back and you watch again the video you have just recorded, then you can actually realize what you did wrong through that video. This can provide you a concrete way to track your progress over time. And trust me, you can see great and significant improvements when you're recording yourself every single day. And remember, those videos do not have to be extra long. It can be really simple, just you yourself talking about your everyday life and your habits, your hobbies, some simple topics that you can think of. And the third thing I do is by watching some English movies or English media in general with subtitles. So this is for someone who are an intermediate or a beginner when you're learning English. And over time, when you're confident with subtitles and you're able to understand even without subtitles, you can slowly turn it off and try to kind of like check yourself whether you understand them or not. And this method will allow you to listen English being used naturally and help you understand what pronunciation is really like in real world situations. Because sometimes I think you've definitely heard of something called like some sounds that will connect with each other. For example, look at, right? Instead of saying look at, you can say look at. And that is how real world or real life pronunciation is really like. So make sure, I bet that you have some kind of like movies in English that you really enjoy. So you can try to listen to those every single day. Open some English subtitles if you cannot understand. And with over time, you will see improvements. And the fourth thing you can do which is by exaggerating your mouth movements. So how this works is that for a lot of people that I see, they're really shy when speaking English. So when they're speaking, their mouth movements does not really work as much, which is why you'll have wrong pronunciation if you do not exaggerate your mouth movements. So by exaggerating your mouth movements when speaking English, you can actually develop better control over your pronunciation. So instead of speaking really shy, you can try to open your mouth widely and just use all of your strength to speak English. And the fifth thing that I always do is by shadowing after native speakers. So this is a bit similar to the first technique, but make sure you choose the sources wisely by clicking on videos that will be helpful for you. So there's lots of YouTube channels that you can try and they're all native speakers. For example, I always watch Tiffany English because she is an amazing teacher and she teaches you how to be confident when speaking English, how to maximize your skill, and also how you can use your skills and apply them in real life situations. And there are other YouTube channels, for example, Lucy English or Rachel's English. Those are all amazing, and you can learn pronunciation with them every single day. And remember, when you're listening to them, you can try to imitate their sound, you can try to focus on how they do different techniques when speaking, because it's not just about like using the right sound and pronouncing the right word. It's also about intonation, stress, syllables, and many other aspects as well. And next thing that you can do is by learning intonation patterns. Intonation means when you use your tone to express your emotions. Let me give you an example. If you say, I didn't steal the money, which means that you yourself did not steal the money. When you say, I didn't steal the money, it just means that, yeah, you see the money, but you just did not steal it. Or I didn't steal the money. So when you see that, when I just basically stressed on different words, the meaning will change based on the word that I just stressed in it. Or another example is, how are you today? I just kind of like use intonation to make my question sounds more lively and more friendly. And you can just check on my YouTube channel. I also had a separate video solely on intonation. And if you learn intonation the right way, then your pronunciation will be so much better. And lastly, what you can do is simple. Slow down your speech. When you slow down your speech, you will just instantly realize what you have done wrong so far when it comes to speaking and when it comes to pronunciation. Because I believe that accuracy is way more important than speed. And when you're comfortable with speaking at that speed, you can try to advance your level. So why don't today you try to speak slower, think about how you're going to pronounce this word. Because if you speak slowly at first, you can concentrate on pronouncing each sound correctly before working on increasing your speed afterwards. So those are some of the most simple, basic ways that you can try at home to improve your pronunciation. And I believe with patience and hard work, you can achieve anything. Bye.